The world has long been told a familiar story that Pakistan sponsors terror in the disputed valley of Kashmir. But now, leaked intelligence documents have shattered that narrative. A stunning revelation from within India's own walls, documents from RA, India's premier intelligence agency, prove that the Pahalgam attack was not the work of militants, but a calculated false flag operation orchestrated by the Indian state itself. This was no rogue mission. It was pre-planned, sanctioned, signed off, and its goal was clear: frame Pakistan, manipulate global perception, and trigger a chain reaction across South Asia. Pahalgam, a picturesque town nestled in Indian-occupied Kashmir, frequented by tourists, pilgrims, and serving as a key logistical node for Indian forces. On the surface, it was just another soft target. But in the shadows, it was carefully chosen as the ignition point of an operation that would reverberate across international corridors of power. The attack was crafted to look like the work of a well-coordinated Kashmiri militant group. But every detail, from intercepted call logs to weapons recovered, even the accents used in the communications, was fabricated. All designed to implicate Pakistan's inter-services intelligence, ISI, and military intelligence, MI. The leaked documents confirm it beyond doubt. This wasn't about national security. It was about international manipulation. The operation was staged during a critical diplomatic window coinciding with the visit of US Vice President J.D. Vance to New Delhi. The intention? Influence American opinion and, by extension, the Five Eyes Alliance and the EU's External Action Service, to convince the West that Pakistan remained a state sponsor of terror. In truth, it was India using terror tactics to shape global narratives. But the deception didn't stop with a media narrative. The RA blueprint outlined a deeper objective: to provoke a Pakistani military response. If Islamabad reacted militarily, Pakistan's 12 corps would be forced to reposition toward the eastern front, creating a vacuum in Balochistan. That vacuum would be exploited by proxy militant groups, the BLA and BNA, to destabilize Pakistan from within. These groups, long believed to have external backers, would be activated in areas like Quetta and Sui, using planned time windows ranging from 3 to 48 hours after the Kashmir attack. RA had every scenario mapped. Even the abrogation of the Indus Waters Treaty was embedded into the playbook to escalate diplomatic tensions and push Pakistan to the edge. A second layer of the plan involved a limited Indian military incursion across the line of control, targeting a 1.2 kilometer stretch inside Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Internally, Indian forces were instructed not to cross more than 1.3 kilometers to avoid triggering mediation from the United Nations or China. All moves were calibrated to appear defensive and temporary, a retaliation against a fake Pakistani act, a staged justification for occupying strategic ground. Timing and perception were everything. Within 10 minutes of the Pahalgam explosion, before investigators even reached the site in the mountainous terrain, Indian media anchors and government spokespeople had already blamed Pakistan. Leaked briefings show that Indian media outlets were pre-briefed, given talking points and imagery to circulate instantly after the event. The aim was to overwhelm public opinion before the truth could emerge. Shock first, questions later, if ever. The documents also revealed a chilling level of planning. Alternate plans were already activated in Shopian district in case the original Pahalgam operation was compromised. Contingency corridors were secured in Anantnag and Gandarbal, with covered squads deployed in plain clothes referred to as Dentier squads. Covert action wasn't limited to Kashmir. Balochistan's insurgent cells were given coded orders to initiate attacks labeled T-48, referring to the time window post-Pahalgam. Surveillance would be ramped up on CPEC routes, and Chinese infrastructure in Gwadar. India wanted chaos, not just in the valley, but across Pakistan's economic and strategic lifelines. And all of this was designed to unfold beneath the watchful eyes of the international community. But the documents were leaked. They exposed not only the operation, but the cold, strategic apathy of the Indian state toward its own citizens. Instructions were found within the raw files to limit coverage of Hindu deaths to non-state platforms only. Even the dead were politicized, sacrificed not for justice, but for optics. What these documents show is not just dangerous. It is damning that the Modi-led Indian government and its intelligence apparatus are willing to stage terrorist attacks, weaponize grief, manipulate public perception, and risk regional war, all to achieve geopolitical dominance. False flag operations are not new to South Asia, but this one may be the most sophisticated and the most reckless. For decades, India accused others of what it was secretly orchestrating. Now the evidence speaks. Now, the world sees it. The truth is not just inconvenient, it's explosive.